Hello and welcome to today's video. This time we'll be taking a look at what's been going on since I bought that massive penguin collection a few weeks back, and also looking ahead to all the events and things I've got coming up between now and the end of the year. So sit back, relax, and let's get to it. So it's quite a nice day once again today, so I've decided to film this one outside. So I've got lots of footage as well to show you, but the actual to camera bit is all going to be done right here in the garden, which is nice and cool. So first off then, the penguin collection, well, it's been, well, how should we say, manic, absolutely manic. So far I've managed to clean from numbers 500 to 1500 and the first couple of hundred Puffin books. I've also cleaned some of the more unusual stuff, the French ones, the bits and pieces, the buildings of England. Yeah, so some of those videos have already gone out. Some of them are coming up. I did a quick tally and I've got 19 more boxes still to clean up, and each box has got about 100 books in, so 1900 more, which is even more than I thought. I thought I had about 1200, but I've still got 1900 to get through. So if you're one of the people who have already sent me lists, I've filled. Most people want books, you know, between 500 and 1500. So a lot of those wants lists have now been filled and the books have all been sent, and the collection has already been dispersed literally around the world. However, I do have wants lists saved for people who wanted books later on, which I know I've definitely going to have doubles of. You know, books I've already got in my own collection, which are doubled up in the big collection that I bought. So look out for those. It's over the next sort of, hopefully the next 4 or 5 weeks. There is quite a few things coming up with regards different events and things, a couple of them book related, and we'll go into those right now. I just wanted to remind viewers that if you are interested in seeing my process of actually cleaning vintage paperbacks, literally from their original state from 50 years ago when they were first picked up through the second-hand shop, to where they were today, to try and get them as clean as possible, removing the tape, dusting the top edges, sometimes cleaning the front and back jackets. That entire process is over on my other channel, and I am systematically, I've already done 13 videos where I filmed the process of cleaning the books and sometimes comparing them against my own copies. And there is a dedicated book paperback cleaning and repairing channel, which if you've not checked it out, I'll pop the link to that at the end of this video, plus it's down below, but it's just full of vintage cleaning action. And as you can see up there, there's some really good stuff, and some books are really stubborn. They need their spines re-glued, and you might even just pick up a few tips about how to preserve some of your own books. On that front, I have been doing a lot of bagging videos lately. There's a reason behind that, and that's mainly because having now received such a huge amount of books recently, it means that some of the stuff that I've actually got out at the moment I no longer have room for. So if it's already been sort of cleaned and potentially already bagged, I'm going to box it up, and that's going to go into short-term storage until I hopefully move house in a couple of years' time, maybe a bit less than that. We'll see how we get on. But those books aren't going to be needed again for at least a couple of years, so I can basically box them up, get them out of the way, and make room for some of the other stuff that's coming in at an incredible rate at the moment. So it's the only way I've got room to house it all. So the first thing I'm going to be doing this month in August, there's a fantastic exhibition in Taunton, Somerset in the UK, which is fairly near to where I live. And it's the world's largest collection of Doctor Who original artwork in private hands, and part of the Taunton Museum has been devoted to this incredible collection. There's like Target book covers, there's comic book artwork. I mean, it's going to be fantastic. I've seen some photos. It's going to be well worth the visit. So I'm visiting that one in about a couple of weeks' time from when I filmed this one, and of course I will hopefully be able to do a proper video of it, so look out for that one quite soon. That will also tie into a brand new Doctor Who series that I'm doing, which is Doctor Who the Target books year by year. Now the first year, or the first part of that, will be the 60s books into 1973 when the Target line started. So there's going to be, you know, a few more books than that. But then literally every single year after that, 74, 75, 76, we'll be analysing all the Doctor Who in paperback releases for that particular year. And we're going to go into it in real detail. Print runs, alternative covers, foreign releases, hopefully reprints as well. It should be a really great series. So look out for that one as well within the next 4 weeks. Incidentally, while I think of it, with the bagging, you may have seen the recent video where I introduced the deflector DC like plastic cases for the paperbacks. Now, those are absolutely amazing. If you've not checked out that video, please do. I believe, I've had loads of feedback, people saying they're going to be getting some, so do check that video out if you've not already, because there's some, a great way to get your paperbacks looking as good as possible. Right, so on to the events that are happening in September, and the first one for me is going to be Saturday the 7th of September, although they are actually meeting a day before that, and this is the Penguin Collectors annual meeting, their AGM, which is happening in Exeter this year. Now, it's been a long time since I've been to one of those, perhaps 20 years, and it was the last one I attended was in London. It was really good. But obviously a lot's happened since then, but I'm certainly looking forward to meeting up with a lot of people who I've corresponded with through email but have never actually met in the flesh, so that's going to be fantastic. Now, on that Saturday I have reserved a table at the Collectors Fair, and I'll be bringing along all my spare penguins, as well as Matt. Now, Matt was the grandson of the chap who I bought the big penguin collection off, and he will be coming down as well. He's also going to be having a table, and he'll be bringing along lots and lots of cheap penguins as well. So I think there's going to be loads and loads of stuff to buy, as well as it just being a really good, interesting penguin related day. So if you can make that one on Saturday, September the 7th, please do. And then on the very next day, on the 8th, is a paperback show. Now, this is a paperback show which is held at Zardos, which is at All You Need Is Books in Wiltshire. Now, you've probably seen my visits to Morris before, often with Steve, but sometimes on my own. And Morris has a huge warehouse which he serves the website, the All You Need Is Books website, but he's now got virtually next door a retail store where all books are £1, and it is packed with really good stuff. I mean, you cannot believe what Morris is knocking out at £1. You can come away with a couple of carrier bags full for 20 quid. So it's going to be a fantastic show. Once again, I'm going to be there. I'm going to have a table. My friend Dorset Bob's going to be there having a table as well, or two in fact, probably, and a few other dealers. So I think it's going to be well worth the visit, even if you just go to Morris's warehouse, because it's not every day that you're able to actually go and have a look around that. So that one's on Sunday the 8th of September, and I shall definitely be at that one as well. Saturday the 21st of September, it sees the first Matford Toy Fair. Now, Matford's also near Exeter, and it's the first time we've had one of those in a few months now. So once again, very much looking forward to that one. It's just a quick run up the road for me on the motorway, so we can be there in like 40-45 minutes, and there's usually something to find. It's not the biggest toy fair, but it's usually full of interesting stuff from the locals. So yeah, I should be definitely at the Matford Toy Fair. Then the following Saturday, I'm going to something completely different. It's the Innsmouth Literary Festival. Now, I'm going along to this one with my friend Dorset Bob. He invited me along. So the guest of honour there is Charles Stross, the author, and there'll be talks, there's going to be book launches, there's going to be dealers there. It's just a one-day literary festival. So once again, all the links to all of this that I'm describing will be in the description down below, so you can check these out. But that one sounds really fantastic. Innsmouth, of course, being the Lovecraftian reference. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that one. Now, the following Sunday, which is the 6th of October, is the much bigger Shepton Mallet Toy Fair. Now, I had hoped to go to one of the big NEC shows this year at Birmingham, but from the reports that I hear and watching a few videos, those particular shows just seem to be full of what I would call more modern stuff from the 90s, 2000s, 2010s. Mm-hmm. They don't tend to have 60s, 50s, 60s upwards stuff, which is what I particularly like, 50s to 80s really, which is more my era. So it's a long way to go for that one. So we're going to give that one a miss. But Shepton for me then is the biggest one, which is just a couple of hours away. So very much looking forward to the Shepton show. I always get some good stuff at that one, and they generally have some bigger dealers come down because it's not quite too far if you're coming from sort of the South London area, and they do get some dealers from that sort of neck of the woods. So yeah, that should be really cool. Now, on October the 13th, I'm going to the Bloomsbury Book Fair, which is the fair for rare book first editions. This is held in the same Bloomsbury Holiday Inn in Curran Way in London, which is where the Paperback show is held. And similar to where the Paperback show has the ephemera fair attached to it, the London Book Fair, this particular one, has got a photographic fair attached to it. So vintage photographs, and I'm going along to actually film and visit that fair with my wife. I think that's going to be absolutely fantastic. I'm really curious to see the sort of the rarer first edition book dealers. And also, you know, I'm curious to see what the photography side of things is like. It's something I don't think I've ever really been to before. I've been to card fairs where they've had postcard dealers, but I've never been to a photography fair. So I think that's going to be really, really interesting. So that's going to be on October the 13th. Then on the 27th of October, I've got the next Plymouth Retro Fair. Now, this is held twice a year in the Plymouth Life Centre, and it's okay. They don't have a massive turnout of dealers, but they do have some. So if you're definitely in the area, I would recommend going along, because you're never quite sure what you're going to see. They always get a good turnout. So if you're thinking of having a stall there, I don't believe it's that expensive, and I think it might be well worth you going along. Then another week or so after that, we've got yet another Matford Toy Fair, and this is in November, and this is like the last little run up now to the end of the year. Yes, it's going to be a bit of a mad weekend. So Saturday the 23rd of November, I'll be leaving here and going to the Matford Toy Fair in the morning. From there, I'll travel from Exeter over to my friend Dorset Bob's, and the very next day then we're off to London to do the London Paperback show. Now this is, you know, if you've seen the video from last year, you'll know how absolutely amazing that show was, and last year it really did beat all records. It was outstanding. The people turnout was incredible. The stuff on offer was absolutely amazing. If you only make one show this year, make sure it's that one, because it's going to be so good yet again. So yeah, look out for that one on the Sunday the 24th of November. Then probably the last show I'll be doing will be on the 1st of December, which once again is the last Bulldog Fair of the year, which is at Shepton Mallet. So that'll probably be my last big toy fair, or, you know, where I'm travelling to actually attend something of the year. Although I may well end up doing a separate visit to All You Need Is Books and or Dorset Bob at some point. But I might try and get to some different cities along the way to do some book hunting, because I always love doing that, particularly in areas which I've never sort of checked out before. So yeah, you could say quite a busy old year. Loads of events coming up between now and the end of the year, but I'll film it all, and there'll be videos recording all those events. So do look out for them as and when over the next few weeks. So looking ahead to the videos that I've got coming up, I've got the aforementioned Doctor Who target books year by year, which I think is just going to be fantastic, looking at all the Doctor Who paperback releases. I've got some Penguin related ones which are planned. So we're going to be looking at the publications of the Penguin Collectors Societies. This is going to be the newsletter right back to number 1, which I've got now, up to the latest issue, which is 101, plus some of their miscellanies and special publications. I'm also planning to look at Ariel, Penguin number 1, and I've also got a video planned looking at Penguin's 50th anniversary celebrations from 1985, and some of the related books and publications and memorabilia that came out around Penguin's 50th. So that should be quite cool. So you may have caught my latest video looking at J.G. Ballard in vintage Penguin and Panther paperback. And there were some absolutely gorgeous covers there, a lot of which were by Alan Aldridge and David Pelham. Now I've got separate dedicated videos looking at both those artists and their vintage paperback work, predominantly Penguin. But if there's anything else I've got designed by them, I will include those in a couple of dedicated videos looking at those artists. So do look out for those too as well. Now I do have some vintage Star Wars videos coming up. I've already done quite a few because, as you know, I'm selling my vintage Star Wars collection. So the first batch of books has already gone up about a month back, and there was some fantastic vintage paperbacks in there. And they, if you're interested in that one, it's just a few weeks back, so check that one out. I've got 2 more vintage Star Wars book videos planned. The second one is going to be the vintage annuals, storybooks, but also the price guides, the vintage price guides, toe mark guides, things like that. So that's going to be coming up in video number 2. And then the third video is going to be some of the more slightly modern, larger format books. And there's some absolutely fantastic, beautiful coffee table books in there, some real rarities. So that's the next couple of Star Wars videos. So look out for those ones as well. Now, I'm hoping, of course, to have my friend Andy back, and we're slowly but surely working our way through his collection. So we're going to have some really interesting stuff with my friend Andy, but also George. Now, we've been filming George's Doctor Who collection decade by decade, and the next one we're looking at is the Doctor Who DePaul figures. So they came out in the late 80s into the early 90s, plus then Doctor Who the 90s. So a couple of absolutely outstanding Doctor Who videos which we're looking to do before the end of the year. Hopefully some other stuff as well. And then we're also looking at a retrospective, once again with George, looking back at the Purple Haze years. So Purple Haze was the shop that George and I ran for pretty much a decade. And We've got some video footage now when we had a signing with Sophie Aldred, Mike Tucker and Paul Cornell. That's been digitized, so we've got some footage of the shot which will be really cool, which we're going to talk about. And I've also scanned all the photos and press clippings, and I'm going to create a sort of a bit of a slideshow with that video footage. And George and I and a few sort of Purple Haze related friends and customers will come along, and we'll have a chat about the good old days of retailing science fiction collectibles and books in the 1990s, because it was amazingly like over 30 years ago when that shop opened, and it's still very fondly remembered, and I think that video will go down very well. So look out for that one as well, definitely before the end of this year. So people, in fact, very recently say, Jules, how on earth are you fitting all this in? Because I do still work part-time as well. I've got another job apart from YouTube. And I have to say, I just make sure that my days off, when I'm not doing my normal job, are filled as much as I possibly can. I've got a really good work-life balance, and life is short, and I really, really intend to live life to the fullest and live every day to the max. I think it's just the best sort of maxim that you can have. So, I just make the most of, the days that I've got, because I absolutely love what I do. So once again, I'd like to thank my YouTube channel members and my Patreon supporters. So you don't earn a lot through YouTube advertising, you earn a bit. It's enough to sort of keep me coming back each month making videos, but that's not really the reason I'm doing it. I do it because I love the hobby and I love sharing all this stuff with you, and just, sharing the knowledge. It's just my hobby and it's my passion, and I hope that that comes out in the videos that I make. However, if you can support the channel a little bit more than just being a subscriber, and want to help out, please go to Patreon, which is the best option, and you can pledge anything from £1 or $1 a month up to like £5 a month if you want to, or you can go on to YouTube itself and become a channel member, where I think you can pledge from £1 or $1 up to £25 if you want a month. I have had people who've supported me pretty much since the channel has been going, particularly my friend Ben over in America. So Ben, a special thank you to you. You've been perhaps the best supporter of all, but so many friends people I would consider friends now have supported me over these years. So once again, really, really appreciate that. And if you can't do that, absolutely not a problem. Please just hit the subscribe button for your regular fix of nostalgia. Anyway, I think we've just about covered it all, so you're up to date. So definitely some key dates for your diary there. And if you want to meet me, or come and say hello, or catch me at one of these shows, just come and see me and say hello, and I'll be happy to stick you in one of the videos, because I love doing that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and hope you've got some stuff to be looking forward to yourselves. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again very soon. Bye.